Yeah, here we go.
Hello, and welcome to another Win Daily Sports Show. My name is Michael Rasile, and today we are graced by the legend himself, Mike North at North 2 North. How you doing today, Mike?
What's up, Mike? It's good to talk to you. Talked to you yesterday. I showed up. I had my pajamas on. We had a meeting last night, a late night meeting. I felt like something out of a film noir. I said, this is going to be great. We got started today. I gave out Murray State to everybody. You got to go. Now, the one thing, I got a lot of new people. In fact, we had like 9,600 today on Twitter. We're going to get close to 10,000 tonight, folks. We got to go over the 10,000 mark. Make sure you follow Win Daily Sports at Win Daily Sports, and we're going to have and Mike's going to explain the pick that I have up now at windailysports.com. What do people have to do, Mike?
Correct. So what you have to do is you have to go to windailysports.com, go to our sports betting package, use promo code WIN2021, and you're going to get 2 months of our sports betting picks, which is going to include a pick from Mike every single day.
Every day,
baby. So you're going to get the free one. You're going to get the premium one. And then we have our house handicapper who has been absolutely crushing it. I think we went 6-1 in NBA last night. So we've been making a little bit of money.
That's it. That's the whole point.
So make sure.
I remember I got into this thing like when I was 14, and I was in trouble with the bookmaker by the time I was 16 on the payment plan, the whole ball of wax. Back in the day, you put down $25 bets, $10 bets, $5 bets. People do the same thing now with the new casinos and everything else. So, I've been doing this with ESPN 1000, doing this with the Bears Barroom, but this is another step up, folks. And we will have a pick for today near the end of the show also.
Yes, Mike's giving you 3 picks today, people. So get ready to mortgage your households. That's what he wants us to do, right?
Well, listen, the plan always works until, you always want to win until you get punched in the face. The one thing I think we're going to do on this show is because a lot of people now are jumping on the gambling type of thing. But we're going to put together business plans. We're going to make sure you don't blow your money. We could start out 0-3, but you maybe make 1 unit plays tonight. Start out slow. You don't know me. I don't know you. All you know is what you've read. All you know is the great records I've amassed. I mean, I just won 10 straight NBA games on Twitter, giving them out for free, and that's how Win Daily got together. And to win in the NBA is hard. Now, you brought up earlier, Mike, winning in college is tough. But the NBA's become tougher because like a half an hour before the game, Johnny may have a bad toe, or they're using the COVID excuse when they really probably don't even have COVID. COVID protocol. All of a sudden now, so to win when they're pulling players out of games, players aren't playing, this and that, that's tough. And you don't like the college game because, well, you like the college game, but it's tougher to win on the college game because they're kids. They're 18. You see stuff in college ball that you don't see in pro ball. I mean, the other night, a guy threw a pass to another guy, an inbounds pass, and he wasn't even looking, So I understand. We try to get paid. Those poor kids don't.
Well, hopefully that changes in the future, but I feel like that's another conversation. And it is very frustrating, man. I'm always on the wrong side of free throws. That's what it comes down to in the college game. Whatever the spread is, the totals, I'm always on the wrong side of it. So we're going to get to a little college basketball a little bit later, but we want to break open this show. We got the legend Mike North, and we have the Super Bowl in a couple days. So why don't we talk about that a little bit? So, Mike, I'm curious, how do you see Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, Tom Brady and the Bucs? You can get the line at 3.5, depending on your book. How are you seeing this game play out? I think the total has dipped from 57 down to about 56. So giving you a little extra. What are you thinking? What are you liking?
Well, first of all, I remember now the Radio Row's empty again, but I remember going to Radio Row the first time. There was like 12 shows. There was 12 of us, 12 shows. There weren't that many. This is back in the early 90s. Now there's 400 shows, or there was until this year. I'll tell you what. I've been riding Brady. I rolled with him last week. He knows how to win. He's a quarterback that, sure, he threw 3 interceptions, but 2 of them were like punts. I mean, he threw them downfield. It's not like a devastating pick 6. He did throw 3 touchdowns. But he's going up against a different animal now. It took guts for me, I thought, last week to put it down against Rodgers. But now you got to have guts of the bandit to put down Tampa Bay. I don't care how many times Tom Brady's been there. He's been there 9 times to the Super Bowl, 14 times to conference championships, which is astounding. But I'm leaning right now, and I won't have the pick will probably be put up here when I got it. But I'm leaning Tampa Bay. I just see the spread 3.5. I thought it was going to be 4, maybe -5. I mean, Mahomes has been dinged up. When I hear he's going to be the greatest quarterback of all time, he's playing against the greatest. Rodgers ran out of that field last week, the favorite, but not in his head. He looked across and he saw Tom Brady. And he said, am I really worthy? Am I really going to beat Tom Brady? Everybody else had him. Hey, they're -3. They're -3.5. Yeah, but Tom Brady, Rodgers had himself at +3.5. He better have the game of his life. And really, Rodgers didn't. I mean, he really did not have that good a game. So it's going to be between, I think, Brady. Everybody's talking about what's Mahomes going to do. What's Kelsey going to do, Mike? What's Tyreek Hill going to do to their defense? You know, it's sort of funny. I haven't heard Gronkowski's name. I haven't heard Miller's name. I haven't heard Mike Evans' name. I haven't heard what's Brady going to be able to do against Kansas City's defense? Will he burn them with the tight end? Because Gronkowski last week did not play a good game at all, except for that one play that he ripped off for 19 yards, which was huge for me, along with them kicking the field goal. So I think we're going to hear from some people we didn't hear from last week for Tampa Bay, especially a guy like Gronkowski. So we'll see what happens. There was an under bet just put in for 500,000 in Las Vegas. So a lot of people are liking the under, and that bet there made that line move down.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the under a 57 is. Hey, I do this for fun, right? I do this to make money, but I do this for fun. And what do we want to do? We want to root for points. Everyone wants to take the over. But when it's at 57, you have to kind of compute that. You need essentially 10 touchdowns in this game to hit over 57.5. You need 60 points, essentially, right? So you're going to look for 10 touchdowns. That is a lot of offense. That is difficult to come by. It's not that easy, folks. So we really have to understand, all right, what are we looking for and how are we going to do it? And I also think Tom Brady in Super Bowls, they don't really hit the over too much. Yes, that Eagles one was insane, but most of the time it's 0-0, 0-3, 7-0 after the first quarter.
He gets off to a bad start every Super Bowl. It's sort of funny. In all his Super Bowls, he doesn't get off to the greatest start, you know. But he
wins them.
But then he wins them, and then he perks up near the end. He starts getting his legs. That's why you don't panic when you have him. But you're playing a guy that's been dinged up already in Mahomes. He got a concussion 2 weeks ago. That means the next time he gets hit hard, it might be easier to give him that concussion. I'm not saying he's going to get hurt, but when you're hearing he's going to put up all sorts of numbers, he's going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. He's already had turf toe this year. He's already got a concussion. His style of play is not conducive to playing 15 years. It really isn't. But I think he's capable of playing 7, 8, 9 years and putting together a Super Bowl string. I mean, the whole thing blows up if Brady beats him. The Mahomes is the greatest of all time crap goes away, just like the Rodgers is the greatest of all time crap we heard all the way up until last week, until he met the GOAT, Tom Brady. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think Mahomes is intimidated by anybody. I think Rodgers in the back of his head last week was a little bit.
I completely agree with you. I think Rodgers got in his head, and you could kind of see it. He didn't really play. He didn't have a terrible game, but he didn't have a very good one. And
when
I think
got thrown by behind, caught from behind in the first quarter, you can be tight mentally. You can be tight throw-wise. It's like when you go up to the free throw line, you're ready to shoot, but you need this point to win the game. You don't shoot with that same fluidity. I saw Rodgers, even his legs tight up. He got run down by a 325-pound tackle in the first quarter of that game. You hardly ever see that happen.
It's going to be interesting. I'm very excited. I think it's going to be an awesome game. I'm excited to eat some chicken wings, drink some beer, and put as many bets on this game as I possibly can. But I think one thing that it's brought up occasionally, but we're all the way to Thursday, and I haven't heard it brought up enough because I think it is a huge point. Andy Reid is a significantly better coach than Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians has pretty much been a net negative, in my opinion, this year. Tom Brady has carried that team and done everything that he can to get them to that point. Exactly. I think Bruce Arians is a good coach, but I think Andy Reid is leaps and bounds better than him. And I think with 2 weeks, you're going to get more out of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes than you are out of Bruce Arians and Tom Brady.
Well, I'll tell you this. Andy Reid became a better coach than Bruce Arians as soon as Mahomes showed up.
100%.
Andy Reid was being talked about like Bruce Arians is being talked about now, and like he was just talked about with you. You weren't bum rapping him. You're just saying he ain't there. He's not there for me yet. He needs to win a Super Bowl. But what he did, he knew Jameis Winston can't, I'm never going to win if a quarterback's throwing 33, 34 interceptions a year. 30 touchdowns, 32 interceptions. That's insane. You got to have a 3-to-1 ratio. Even Matthew Stafford has a 2-to-1 ratio. That's horrible. That is horrible in today's market. So I think he felt, and it's funny because Dan Pompei writes in The Athletic today about how Tom Brady's going to surpass Michael Jordan. I brought this up on my show last week on AM 1000, and I brought it up on Bears Barroom last week. If Brady wins, and I don't know, I haven't read the article, but it's up, I think along the same lines, he's going to do something Jordan couldn't do. Win a championship with a different team after leaving a team after 6 championships for that 1 year, which is football, 53 men, don't know the coaches, don't even know how to get down the street. And Jordan didn't do that his first year. It'd be like Jordan going to the Wizards his first year and they win the NBA championship. And Jordan was under 40. So what this guy's done is, I brought up a word, I made it up last week. I thought it was a real word, but a phenomenation. What he has done is a phenomenation. It's better than phenomenal. It's a phenomenation. I don't know any of you guys. There's going to be no training camp because of COVID. We're not going to play a lot of preseason games. I'm going to look horrible early, but don't worry about it. I'm Tom Brady. And here we are. Boom. And it's just phenomenal. It really is what he has accomplished. Because they were 16-1. As soon as he went over, they were 16-1. Don't ask me why I didn't jump on it. I mean, everybody's going, but you don't figure it's going to happen the first year. You just don't.
Hindsight's 2020, and this year on top of it, right? Like with small training camp and just all the stuff that happened, everyone thought there's no way he could possibly take this team. Now we all agreed going into it, the offense was stacked. You have 2 incredible receivers in Godwin and in Evans. You obviously bring over Gronk. That was just kind of more of a hilarity than anything else. I mean, you had OJ Howard. Unfortunately, his season ended. Cameron Brate's been respectable and solid most of his career, and the defense was good. But again, as you said, it's hard to have a good defense, or at least scoring wise, if you have 35 interceptions coming from your quarterback. We knew Tom Brady wasn't going to do that, so I thought they'd make the playoffs. But I'll be honest, I did not think they would make the Super Bowl. And I actually think at one point during the season, after that Bears loss, if I'm not mistaken, they actually had 17-1 odds. So we still could have got it in the season, but we were all watching what was happening and be like, there's no way this team goes there.
At that point, if losing to the Bears was going to bring your odds down, you deserved it. I mean,
exactly
17. So I just think that and I'm looking at the prop bets.
Yes.
I looked at one. It says number of sacks, 4 total between the two. All right. Well, that tells me right there that they're trying to reel you in. And I'm not big on prop bets. And prop bets are guessing games, folks. Not a system like picking a game, picking a team that's going to win. It took me 40 years to perfect this. Thousands of dollars lost, believe me.
Many more won, of course.
But now I've won a lot more the last 3-4 years because I finally figured out we don't have to jump on everything like it's huge. We don't have to take every prop bet. Prop bets are guessing games. But if I was going to take a prop bet, I might take the under 4 sacks. Tampa Bay sacked Rodgers 5 times. Now you got Brady who's stationary. There's one thing, though. The under, you figure, might not come in, but every time you get near Mahomes, he can run out of that hash mark. And in the old days, and I'm talking the old days, and let everybody know, I told Mike how old I was, and he said, and I said when I started first working in terrestrial radio, he goes, that's when I was born. But that's another story for another day. But if you look at Brady and what he's got to do, I just think it's going to be I just think it's Brady against their defense. I think if the defense breaks down, I think Brady can score against their defense. I don't think their defense, as anybody said, oh my God, it's Kansas City's defense. It's not like the 85 Bears. It's not like the Ravens. You know, do they try to keep them off the field, Mahomes off the field? Because I saw Buffalo get ahead of them 9-0. I go, and then I dropped my keys. I picked them up. It was 21-9.
Yep.
So you got to keep them off the field.
Yeah, we all my buddies. Well, I actually forgot to place the bet, of course, but we all bet Kansas City money line when they were down 9-0. We're like, they're totally winning this game. We all agreed they blew them out. I even had Kansas City -3 last week as well. I had the Bucks +3, 3.5, whatever it was. I thought they were going to win the game. So I'm excited for it. I have Chiefs. I've been riding with the Chiefs -3. Once that line came out, I took it. I think the Chiefs win this game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think they win it. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means, but I think we're under the Bucks. While they have been a good team, I think they haven't really been the best team all year. Now they got to where they needed to get to. The Chiefs have been the best team all year by leaps and bounds. We all kind of knew it, and here they are. And I think too many people, like what happened last week with the Bills, everyone was like, well, the Bills have a chance, and you kind of talk yourself into it. Yeah. I think a lot of people are talking themselves into the Bucks and not being like, wait a second, Patrick Mahomes 2 weeks rest, Andy Reid, all these guys are getting healthier. That defense, while you said not the 85 Bears, still very good. We already watched this game once this year, right? And the Chiefs smoked them until the fourth quarter when the Bucks brought it back a little bit. So I don't think we're going to see that again, but I think the Chiefs win.
Mahomes was insane in the first quarter of that game, put up 100 yards and everything else. And, you know, weird things happen. I like, you know, that I'd be getting the 3.5 if I did take Tampa. Like I said, I might end up taking Kansas City. The prop bets, I like the under. I like the 46.5 over for a field goal. I think we're going to, you know, a lot of people, I think are going to take the under. Now, Green Bay, 2 weeks ago, I had the over 46 and Crosby hit a 46-yarder, which how often does that happen where you land? I got to push on the longest field goal prop, but I like the over 46.5. The one thing you got to be careful about is those footballs are different footballs. The one that they kick off with, the very first one, I think you can get a yes or no where there'll be a touchback, but it's supposedly a real hard football. You kick that ball off once. It's not either team's used it. It's supposed to be harder. You kick it off. Most of the time, the first kickoff doesn't go in to the end zone, folks. So I might go no on a touchback because it's like kicking a rock from what I hear.
And see, this is the information you get. And this is why we brought Mike North into the Win Daily Sports family, people. This is what it is.
It's
so
like
I love it.
Rock. If you get a safety, is there going to be a touchback on the first kickoff or not? I'm leaning there's not, because I've heard kickers say that first kickoff that have kicked it, it's like kicking a rock and it doesn't have the sailing. Now, if there's winds and if there's rain, then we got to reconsider it because there's supposed to be, like I'm sitting in 35 feet of snow as you are, and we're worried about a sun shower in Miami, you know, but I mean in Tampa. So I would lean under on that.
I like that.
You're not going to make that touchback.
So my favorite prop bet, this one's more of a joke bet, but plus 375, will a kick or extra point, field goal attempt or extra point hit a crossbar? Harrison Butker can't hit a 33-yard field goal or an extra point. He's been banging them off the uprights the whole time. I'll put a couple bucks plus 375. That's a fun one.
Yeah, and be careful about looking for trends about certain things, like missed extra points. Has there ever been, how many missed extra points? Well, they've moved it back. It used to be right up there front for the first 40, 50, 40 of them. So you got to look, don't look at trends and go, well, they never miss. They're kicking from the 30 now. So it's a whole different ball game than what you had maybe 10, 15 years ago.
I love it, Mike. I love it. Do you have any, say it again?
I got the chills.
Ooh.
You know, no, it's not COVID or nothing.
No, it's good. Yeah. You got the Super Bowl coming up in a couple days. This is going to be an absolute blast.
We are blessed. Except, you know, hopefully this whole pandemic will be over soon. I went to like 18 Super Bowls, but I never went to an actual game. I went with the station I was working for all week long, had the time of my life, but then I'd get out of there and come home and watch it with my wife and stuff. But, I mean, 18 Super Bowls, and I never went to one. That's got to be some sort of record. I don't know.
That probably is.
Oh, what game was your favorite? Never went to one. I left Friday afternoon. I couldn't wait to get away. Because, I mean, then it starts the onslaught back then. So it's going to be weird with they're going to have. And by the way, How easy has it been? I took Brady last 2 weeks ago, knowing there's going no crowd, really big crowd. That knowing that if a Green Bay guy jumps into the stands after a touchdown, he may have to get up himself and get himself out of the stands. So not having crowds has helped the road teams all year. They've been winning just like in the NBA, but in the NFL, I think the road dogs or the underdogs this year were 57%.
Look at that. That's how you win money. You bet on underdogs.
Big bucks. That's why you Jason had opened the piggy bank. You would like this. And then you took half and gave it to me. You had some couch change.
Just a couple bucks. That's all.
That's all. God, is it coming down? It's snowing big. Is it snowing by you?
No, we're finished. It's supposed to snow again. I got 3 feet the last couple days. It's supposed to start up again this Sunday though. So hopefully stay safe. Me too. Not going to order my chicken wings.
Prop betting, folks. There's a guy that bets every prop bet. I heard there's a guy in Vegas thinks he bets $1,000 on like 300 prop bets. $1,000 a bet. But people got that money. Remember, the Super Bowl. I remember I was at an OTB and a guy comes up to me and he goes, "Who do you like in this race?" At Laurel, some back dog track. I go, so and so. He goes, it's not the Kentucky. I go, it is the Kentucky Derby. Every game is a Super Bowl when you're betting. I don't give a damn. Don't bother me. I got the fifth horse that's got one ear running at Laurel. Leave me alone. He's my Seabiscuit. Every game you put down is a valuable game. And every game you lose, you got to climb them. If you've ever been down early, and if you're down early, we'll get you out. I've been down early. I've climbed back out. I was telling Mike before we went on the air, when you bet me, there's a time you could lose every game for a while. I look at the end of the year. If people followed their financial status and their investment counselors like they follow my picks daily, then they'd have a better gauge of their money. Hey, John, what? We're broke. I didn't know that. What happened? I don't know. We haven't talked to our financial counselor for 3 years. Yeah, but North lost me $50 last night. They know more about what I'm giving them and what I've lost or won than they do their own. And we're going to change that. We're going to keep track of records not as best as we can. We're going to pick some props, which I don't count. We're also going to do some golf here. Do you like betting golf?
Yes.
Have you done that? Golf.
I have a pretty good amount of money on the TPC, the Waste Management Open this weekend. So cross your fingers for me, bud.
That's right. Well, who do you like? I'll give you. I took Harris English as a top 20. And,
okay.
Top 10 at like 28-1. We'll see what happens. But I mean, betting golf is so much fun because back in the day you didn't have betting golf. You just had to watch them move around. Now you're coaching them. You're with them. You're walking with them. And when COVID hit, I thought golf could have taken advantage early. I thought they could have played the Masters. It was easy. You got a golfer and his caddy. You could just take temperatures. But they panicked like everybody else. But they did come back, and golf saved our asses for a while when there was no other sports going.
It is so much fun. I've always watched golf my whole life, but I never really, I watch the Masters, I'll watch the four majors, and then if it's on somewhere, I'll pay attention. But now we do a golf show every Tuesday night with myself, Sia, and our friend Joel. We have first round leader bets. We have outrights. Sia has hit 2 first round leaders and an outright the last 2 tournaments. Nice. So my bankroll's gone up a little bit.
That's it. And if you win, and you can do top 5s, you can do matchup bets. I do that on Bovada quite a bit. Now I'm coming over here, which is going to be even better. And you're going to get as much information as you can. But you don't unload on a golfer. This is my buddy Carmen DeFalco calls it couch change.
Yes.
You don't take the big money that you bet on football, or even the monetary money or the middle money that you bet on football or basketball. You don't bet that on golf. But what you do is you can spread it out. You can take 3-4 different guys. You hit a 20-1 shot. It doesn't matter what the other 3 guys did, Matchup golf is a lot of fun.
100%. I am very excited to get your ideas on them. And I know you said, so we're here for a couple more minutes, Mike. Again, at North to North, if you're not following him, you can follow me at Michael Rasile 1. Make sure to follow us at Win Daily Sports. Mike, you said you had a couple college basketball picks
Yeah.
for us tonight. Talk to me a little bit. We got
Well,
one up on the site.
we got behind the walk, and people can go to right now to register, right?
Yes, they can. WinDailySports.com, get our sports betting membership. But what I did, because we were so excited, I actually put that one up for free. So we're not going to say it here, but if you go to the website, we give you the pick for free. Check it out, WinDailySports.com.
Yeah, go to that one. I've given out. I like a lot of small schools. Small schools, it's like small of anything else. Don't worry, he's a small guy. He's not going to beat me. He can't take me in the next. Small schools, the handicappers. I really believe this. They see a Morehead State and a St. Mary's. They do their due diligence, but they don't do their diligence like they do for Clemson versus Kentucky, stuff like that. I cash in on teams like Ryder, like Troy. Tonight's pick I have for everybody, and it's a tough one. They haven't been covering. 1-7 their last against the spread. Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bearcats are playing Temple tonight at -2. That's the game I like. I like Cincinnati -2. Temple is gritty. They could win this game. Like I told Mike, I've lost 15 games in a row one time. Every handicapper has. He won't tell you. But I've been documented. But I've also won 18 in a row. I've also won 14 out of 15. I'm more of a streak player sometimes. And if it goes bad for 3-4 games, it might go bad for about 6 or 7. Sound familiar with me? Yeah, same thing with me. If you lose, don't start crying. You got to be, let's see what happens at the end of the year. We'll be way above 500. And tonight, for my pick on this show, I'm giving out the Cincinnati Bearcats.
I love it. So, Mike, I'm curious, just with a couple minutes left here. Yeah, there's so many sports, there's so many teams. How do you keep track of all this stuff? And how do you know when you have a feeling your conviction seems good? Well, how do you find out this information? What are you looking at that the normal just $5 bettor is not looking at?
Well, I look at a method that I put together, and I could stay for a while. I mean, you want to throw me out, Mike? You can escort.
Never have I ever.
Well, no. I tell you what, Ryder, I know nothing about him. I don't know where the school was.
New Jersey.
I didn't even know.
I have friends that went there. It's actually a nice place.
I thought it was a wagon company, the little wagons. Ryder. I didn't know. I bet him 2 weeks ago. Boom. Last week, Troy. I thought. Now I know. I was in the service with a buddy of mine. He was from Troy, New York. Okay, but I didn't know they were in Alabama. God bless them. I wish them well. They covered. What I have is a system where I just do my 5-6 diligent things. I don't have to know who's on the team or anything. And if I get the game, whatever games are the best on the board, and sometimes, the other night, it gave me Oklahoma City +5.5, and they played Houston. Oh, I lost that game 136 to 130. I lost by 30 points. They hit a record 11, 12 3-pointers in the first period, Houston. They just whipped my ass. I said, I'll never bet Oklahoma City again. And I didn't. But then I see last night, Oklahoma City wins by 30.
I had OKC +7.5 last night. Yeah.
It's nuts. I had won with them until the other night. So the NBA is a different animal than anything else. If I go on a show and the NBA show's good with my picks, and there's a team out there, I'll take it. But I didn't want to take Oklahoma City the other night against Houston, and I did. And when I take games I don't want to take, usually I win. That one didn't work out. But it's not like, hey, Mike, how could you? I had a guy ask me. We won 8 out of 10, and I never got, hey, how'd you pick that game? I picked Oklahoma City, and I get a thing back from a guy. What made you pick a game like that? You just won 8 out of 10 with me. You just paid your car payment. You're Insta-block. Bing! Gone. Because it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You could win $5,000 one week. The next week, you could lose that right back. Don't get down in the dumps. It's almost like if you ever played, well, we've all played sports, but it's like being a ball player, like being a baseball player, being on a baseball team. Boy, the Cubs, they just lost 3 straight to the Mets, but now you're just like a ball player. How did you lose 3 straight? We don't know how we lost. We just didn't have it. But then we won 4 straight against the Cardinals. That's how betting is. Betting's like being on a baseball team and going through the highs and lows. The only thing is, here at Win Daily, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say this. I had a bookmaker tell me this one time. I go, what are you doing for Christmas? He goes, working. He goes, bookmakers don't get a day off, ever. That was back in the day. Now they get off for one day out of the year. Or this year, they wanted to work, but it was COVID. But bookmakers never get a day off. And either do gamblers. We work every day here. Win Daily, there's no days off. We'll have winners every day.
Not a single day off, people. We are here. We're going to have you covered for everything. We got your golf. We have your NBA. We have your college basketball. Baseball is a bunch of assholes, so we'll see if they even ever come back and play again.
Whoa, Mike, what happened?
I love baseball is my favorite sport, but the owners and the players, and now they want to push the season. It's guys, come on, it's baseball. We should be able to play this. How have we not figured this out yet?
There are a bunch of, look at anything that's got unions involved. I don't care if you're talking teachers. I don't care if you're talking ball players. If there's unions involved, you're going to have this, but I'm with you 100%. And you know what? Baseball's good betting. Baseball's good betting, man. You know, and it's as tense as you can be. I mean, I bet against Roger Clemens. I'm sorry. I've gone up against Dan Marino. Terrifying. Terrifying. You know, he's sitting back there like this. I've gone against, in games, Jordan. You know, I didn't want to. I've gone against, but Roger Clemens, going against him back in his prime, I'm sorry. There's certain guys you didn't want to see on the mound against you. He was a thorn in my side. If I had to pick one ball player that was I'd always go, I'm going against Roger Clemens tonight? Again? You know what I mean? So there's always, who's your player who's the one coach you think of that never won for you?
That never won for me.
That every time you bet that team.
That's a good question. I've only been betting for the last 2 years because it's been legal here in New Jersey. So I'm just getting. Say it again.
No wonder you look happy.
I still have a bankroll.
Like this, just looking up, you know? It's crazy.
I still have a bankroll. Who did I bet? I think I bet on the Cardinals one too many times during the second half of this season. I was like, no, they'll get it back. Oh, no, it was the Seahawks this year, too. Seahawks and Cardinals, second half of the year. I was like, they'll figure it out this week.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out this week.
Yeah, there's always one guy, I remember, and coaches, too. I mean, back in the day, guys like John Robinson, who coached the Rams, loser. Joe Walton, who coached the Jets. You know, you look him up, folks. He wore his hat backwards, loser. I mean, there's certain guys. Clemson, before Dabo Sweeney, anytime I used to bet Clemson football, I'd get my arse kicked, you know. But then he came, and now things have changed, you know. Although if you had Clemson the last time they played, ouch, babe. Who'd you have in that game?
I had Clemson, yeah.
Hard to turn them down, you know.
I had Bama pretty much the whole season. That was nice. That worked out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you know what? Here's another thing. I'm really strong to let you know how my system works. I was 46-10 at one of the services I used to work at, only in hockey. I don't know one guy except my Blackhawks. Hey, what do you think about Montreal? I go, it's cold. What do you think about Vancouver? You know, I just found out all the Canadian teams are in one division. No, I don't care. I bet them. Hockey, I do well at. So we'll have some hockey plays up too, Mikey.
Mike, I'm going to tell you to the end of the earth. How's that sound? Until I have $0 left in my account.
Wait, you sound like you're doing good on your own, though.
We're doing good. It's a collective effort. There's a lot of guys over here at Win Daily. They know their sports. They know what they're doing. We have Ghost for NBA. He's been feeding me some of those prop bets. We went 4 for 4 last night. That was sweet. Our house capper Steve, he absolutely crushed it last night as well. I think we were 5-2 on spreads, 5-1. So
hotter than me. I've been cold a little bit this week. I mean, I was 26 out of my last 34 until last week, and then I was 3-6. Don't ask me. The same system. It happens. People got to learn how to lose when it comes to gambling, but you don't have to. But you got to not like it, and you got to work hard. But if you take my picks, I think we'll be all right. And if sounds like to me, you should be sending me your picks.
I might have to. I'll shoot you a message a little later tonight. How's that sound?
That sounds good. I want to. Hey, you know what? Since you've all been gambling 2 years, you've probably been winning, especially with this outfit. So
yeah, it's been working. It's been working pretty well.
You know what? It keeps stuff in the refrigerator. What can I tell you, buddy?
Just gotta keep eating, and paying my bills, man. That's all I'm here for.
I'm getting in the routine of the show now, so hopefully we got everything down now. Because I mean, I got more emails from Jason. I mean, it's like I work for the Pentagon. I'm like this. I'm like Burt Lancaster in 7 Days in May. I'm looking at the paperwork. Like
I think that'll calm down. I think that'll calm down. He was just excited. He was really excited to have you part of the team.
No, I'm not mad at him.
Good.
I'm happy with him. I go, B, what's that? The email thing. She goes, it's another email, and it's great, folks, because we're going to be up every day, and we're walking our way through this because we got a lot of people working there. How many people?
We have a team of about 30, 40 people right now. We're doing it, man. We're here to help.
It's a big company, baby. We're here for you. Like I said, folks, pay attention. You can't jump in once a week on our picks. And if we have a 1-3 night go, I'm not going back again. Because the next night, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. We're going to go 3-1.
Yep.
We're going to go 4-2. We're going to go 3-0. I mean, but that doesn't mean that we won't get in a rut once in a while. My whole thing, since I started handicapping, I had my first radio show on handicapping football in 1989, is don't panic. Don't chase. Monday's your last day. You're down 300, at 150. Knock it down. You'll get them next week. Like I tell people all the time, and I was told by you guys, there's going to be some nights we don't have a game. There's nothing to bet. There's nothing worth a damn. There's 3 NBA games going, maybe a couple hockey games going. You got a slate of college, but nothing came out clear. You don't pick a game just to pick a game. Now, if you want to lean or something, or you feel good about a game, just put couch change on it. Right. And boy, the Super Bowl, if you're not so sure about the Super Bowl, who's going to win, and you're going to take one of our picks, but you're still not sure, and you're new, don't go, it's a Super Bowl, I'm betting everything. No, it's just another game that's surrounded by hype. And hype can kill you. Just like hype killed 80% of the people that bet Aaron Rodgers. That is hype. 80% or 75 to 80% of the money went down on Green Bay. Not because they don't like Tom Brady. You hear the media. You hear people telling you, greatest quarterback ever. Greatest this. Do your investigation. He's not close. He's good. He's a generational quarterback. But, I mean, you will get steered by and influenced by all the stuff you watch and listen. It's good to listen, but don't get to the point where you're confused and you're basically spinning around the living room going, now I'm really confused.
Just stay away from the noise. That is all it is. Trust yourself. Trust people like you. Trust people like us. We are here to help. And I think that's one thing, going back to the Super Bowl for another minute. I think earlier this week when Jason and you're going to be on the SiriusXM show with us every Saturday. I do the Sunday show. I'm going to be on this Saturday show, but I'm going to do the Sunday show moving forward. One thing that we noticed when we were looking at all the bets, the Chiefs had about 80% of the money on Sunday. Now looking at it, it's come down to about 65, 67% of the money's on the Chiefs.
Which is still if Tampa Bay wins, it's still a haul for the book.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still a lot of money to put on one team against a guy. I'm with you, though. It's almost impossible to think Patrick Mahomes would lose, isn't it?
He is 26-1 in his last 27 starts, I think.
Yeah.
But
Brady's won 7 in a row. And he's gone and he's won these games on the road. No, see, you don't care now.
Well, Patrick Mahomes has won 10 in a row.
Or Patrick Mahomes
11 in a row, whatever it is.
I could counter that argument. He hasn't covered in 8 of his 9 last.
That is true. Hey, he doesn't care about covering. We care if he covers. He doesn't care if he covers.
So if you take Kansas City, are you going to take him on the money line so you don't have to worry about that 3.5? Or are you going to take him with the points?
I took him at 3. I took him at 3 right when it came out.
I don't know if any Super Bowl ever landed on with a 3-point win. I'm not sure.
That's a good question.
It means nothing. See, that's another thing. Well, back in the day, this guy. No, it doesn't matter. It's all new. Just like trends. Well, it says here that, Notre Dame's lost 7 straight times to this team. When's the last time they played them? Well, 1980. But that don't matter for 40 years later. So, you just got to watch the trends. I can't say I hate your pick. And I don't know if you can really say you hate my pick, except for the fact that I haven't picked it yet. Now, I may end up with Kansas City. You took Kansas City based on he wins every game. Can you see if you get 3.5 in Tampa, that hook can be enticing? It could almost be poison to you, where Kansas City could win by 20.
Yep.
I need that half a hook. No, you don't. It's not going to matter. You're going to get slaughtered, So I think that's where you're going. I think you feel probably they should win by at least 10.
I do. I think it'll be close. Maybe not 10. I think it'll be high single digits. I think they can easily win by a touchdown. I wouldn't be surprised. Tell me if you'd be surprised that the Chiefs win by 2 touchdowns, though. I don't think anyone could say that.
There's a prop bet. Will any team be leading by 14.5 points during the game? Yes or no? That's a tough bet.
That is.
14.5. Once again, is Kansas City just going to go off and be up 28-0? Is Tampa going to keep it close? Is Tampa, basically 14 points. The only team I could see that would be up 14.5 points would be Kansas City.
Yep. That is the only team.
That's the only team I can see. So, but every game's different. And Tom Brady's so cool. See, to me, I'm half Irish, okay? I'm half Irish, half Italian, all right? If I had been full Italian like my mother, I'd be jut-jawed. I'd be, a little dark complexion. I'd be handsome. Tom Brady's had facelifts or something.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Great. There's no Irishman that good looking. You never hear anybody say, did you see that dashing Irishman? No, I saw that crazy Irishman, or I saw the nice Irishman next door. But the handsome Irishman? No. And then my mother, who says to me, she started following football this year because she's inside. So she turns the TV on. She's 91. She goes, who's this Giselle Bundchen woman? I go, she makes more money than her husband.
A lot.
Well, you mean Tom Brady? She goes, yeah. Mom, she's been on the cover of magazines all over. And she goes, I've never seen her on it. I go, well, maybe she was on the cover of Frontier Weekly. I have no idea. My God. But that's the charmed life this guy's got. And does it all end? Because he's been dead a couple times, including against Seattle, Mike, before. And they pulled this thing out. And just like last week, the defense, just like, the defense to me has been so unsung. Rodgers had 3 straight chances to get that ball in before they kicked the field goal. And I didn't have a problem with them at the time kicking the field goal if they held them. But I wasn't sorry to see him kick the field goal since I got the points. So it was a beautiful thing. Did you like that call?
No. Oh, no. I mean, my bankroll liked it, but come on. What are you doing there? You're giving the ball back to Tom Brady with what? The 2-minute warning, and you're just trying to hold.
I go, you mean the Tom Brady that threw 3 interceptions in the second half? Giving the ball back to that guy? He could do it again. I know it. I'm with you. It's tough to try to stop him, especially how many turnovers I would like to see has he had in the last 2 minutes of games? I don't remember many.
Probably not too many. I mean, there was the one last year against the Titans, right? On the goal line, and Logan Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, picked him off, brings it back. That was his last play.
Yeah, this year early had a couple bad ones, but
there was within, what was it? I don't know if it was in the 2 minutes against the Eagles, but he had that fumble late.
Yeah.
That kind of ended that game. So obviously those are 2 big ones, but I'm sure he's had many less than we can remember. I'm sure.
I think he's only been underdog 59 times in his whole career.
Betting Tom Brady as an underdog works out very well.
Yeah, it does.
Very well.
People are considering, but we have a different animal in Kansas City. And I made the statement, if he wins another Super Bowl, Mahomes, he could probably retire if he wanted to, and he's in the Hall of Fame. He's got 2, and I think if you project how great he'd be, But if he doesn't win this game and Brady wins again, they should just put him in the Hall of Fame after the game. That'll be 10 Super Bowls.
Not much you can do about it then.
Huh?
Absolutely incredible. There's really not much you could say about it. And then Mahomes can never. It doesn't matter how many Mahomes wins. He'd never have that one against Brady, so it won't matter.
And I've been hearing during the Brady years, Manning's the greatest quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers is, I mean, it's worn me down. If I'm Tom Brady and I'm hearing all the nonsense, he just keeps his mouth shut and just takes care of them all. But I've heard 5 say Russell Wilson, is the MVP. Every quarterback gets a pat in the back. It just seems to me that I don't know if Tom Brady, I mean, it's almost to the take him for granted stage. You know what I mean? Where, he doesn't have the coolest arm. He doesn't throw sideways like Rodgers, doesn't twirl around like Mahomes. He just stands in the pocket, throws. The first quarter was beautiful quarterbacking, lofting passes, because you're right. The second half killed him, but the first half, he was outstanding.
It's true. And we'll see what happens. It's coming up this Sunday, but don't forget, you can catch Mike on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Channel with us on Saturdays in the 5 o'clock hour, 4 o'clock your time, 5 o'clock, everybody else on planet Earth's time. But more important,
New York, New Jersey guy, big shot, hot shot.
East Coast time, baby, East Coast time. Mike, where can everybody that's paying attention, watching us, this is going to be a podcast. We're going to put this up on YouTube. Where can everyone find you if they want to follow some of the stuff you're doing on Twitter?
I want everybody, first of all, Win Daily Sports. We're going to get to 10,000 followers quickly.
Let's do it.
We had like 9,500 today. I see we're up to 97, 98. We got to get to 10,000. Then we got to get everybody registered so they can get my free pick. Now, you just heard Mike say he's going to give out the free pick tonight, which is great. Are you going to put that out on Twitter?
It is. No, I put it on the website. So it's a free article on the website. No paywall, nothing. WinDailySports.com. You'll find it right there.
Go right there, folks. And also, we're going to be picking games every day here at Win Daily. And I want you to check out that website. There's a lot of great stuff on it. Also, AM 1000 on Fridays and Saturday mornings with my wagering show, Carmen DeFalco. I'm on Bears Barroom on Wednesdays, where I do a live video podcast at 9:30 Central Time. And also, North to North is my Twitter handle. But I'm going to be doing a lot of Win Daily, sports stuff too. I'm going to be tagging them for a lot of stuff. I want people to get in the mood because you just heard Mike say a lot of handicappers here. A lot of handicappers. He looks like he's doing pretty well. He's still smiling. How many of you are smiling? How many of you got a smile like this guy? Last time I smiled like that, I was like in my 20s. You're in your 20s, aren't you? Yeah. I do this now. I got to force. Hey, how you doing, Jimmy? He's a young guy and he's winning. We can all win. And if you've been with me on my Twitter picks, these people were following my picks from the beginning. I think this whole deal's taken like 9 months to get together, and I've been winning. And they say, let's go. And they have enough faith in me. Now, tonight, just like with the Odds Couple, when I first started my show there 2 years ago, I went 3-1 the first week.
Oh, no. Which
is good. The first week you go 3-1 on radio. You want to establish something. If I lose tonight, that's fine. If I win tonight, that's fine. I got a track record. So does this crew here. And boy, it's going to be an exciting Super. We came at the right time. The Super Bowl we got together.
Doesn't get better than this, man.
Any other prop bets that you like? Have you seen anything else?
One long shot. We're throwing some lawn darts. I think Travis Kelce, first touchdown, plus 600. I like that one.
Yeah.
And all of Leonard Fournette's props. To score, plus 120. I think over 48.5 rushing and over 28.5 receiving yards, if I'm not mistaken. Love all of them.
Yeah, because Leonard Fournette, he's a forgotten man, like most of Tampa Bay's players. We've been hearing mostly about Kansas City's players. So
and one more. I got one more. Picture this. It's the fourth quarter. Tampa Bay's down, let's call it 4. They're driving. Tom Brady throws a ball to the end zone. Who catches it? Rob Gronkowski, plus 225. Of course, Tom Brady's going to try and get Rob Gronkowski a touchdown in what I assume is going to be his last game playing in the NFL. So I'm also putting a couple bucks on Rob.
Gronkowski came back. I don't think his comeback, it's a success.
He went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think if Gronkowski never, how do I say this? Gronkowski left before Brady with New England. Then Brady left. It's always been my contention, if Gronkowski don't leave, maybe Brady's still in New England. Because when he lost Gronkowski, people don't know how huge. He's the greatest tight end maybe in football history. That hurt them. I mean, that hurt him. I think he wanted to get out anyway. We'll never find out the real story. Did they fight hard enough to get him? I mean, if you're Robert Kraft right now, you're like this. You're like this. Because they didn't even know it was coming out because Cam Newton, it was almost a panic move at the end, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Bears have been looking for a quarterback for 50 years. How was New England supposed to find a quarterback after 19, and he just left them in a lurch like that? So it's going to be fun, man.
It's going to be a lot of fun, Mike. We are so excited to have you here on the Win Daily Sports team, a part of the family.
I am. I feel familiar. Now, are you Italian?
Yes, very Italian. You can't tell?
Yeah, you know what I was. Yeah, you had the beard. You got the the beak. I mean,
yeah.
And it's been broken.
No, it just looks like that.
Oh, it just looks like that. I'm half Italian, half Irish. I want to drink. I just don't want to pay. That's just my deal, man.
I like that.
It's tough. We got some Italians here. God bless the Italians. They brought us gambling. They brought us all the vices. What wonderful people.
Nothing wrong with that. I got some wine. My grandma and grandpa have some wine waiting homemade wine at their house waiting for me. So
made it too. Make with the barrels and everything else, and the whole thing. It's work. That's hard work. It really is. But
it tastes so good. Mike, this is incredible. I'm so excited. We're going to be doing one of these every single week. Might not be this long, but if it is, I'll have a lot of fun with it. It seems like you did too.
What's the right amount of time, you think? Because what time is it?
It's almost 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I'm out of here, man.
Yeah, perfect time. Appreciate you, Mike.
Half hour, 45 minutes, hour. I could stay with you all night, man. Give me a winner before. No, never mind. I'm going to stick with what I got. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.